Over the years, Bloons has seen many tier lists, rankings, and metas. One would even say it's a little oversaturated, but throughout the years no one has tackled the most important question for any game, that being, who has the most drip in BTD6? And now that I've brought up the question, you might be afraid, because you've never considered this previously. However, according to answers from myself, my friends, and the community, we're going to tell you which monkey has the most drip. Now, our rating is presented here on this tier list, and was carefully thought out by Bloons experts, so you know it's real. The bottom tier is reserved for those who have nothing going for them. For example, Pat Fusty, who has only a bandana, of which doesn't even give him camo detection in spite of being red at level 20. And also, the super glue kind of looks like an imposter from Among Us, so it can't be any higher for legal reasons. C tier is for those who have at least some style or a good palette, but don't really go very far with it. For example, Sentry Champion, who just kinda takes off his arm, or Quincy, who grows fins for some reason, but yet keeps a decent palette and a semblance of style. Those in B tier have style, but isn't too special or original about it, such as Archmage, who looks like every wizard you've ever seen, but it still pulls it off pretty well, and as well he goes for the daring play of putting a hat on top of a hoodie, which is very brave, I must say. There's also monkeys here that go for generic military looks, which, to be fair, most of them pulled off pretty well, but they don't really stand out from the crowd because, well, they just look like they're from the military. However, A tier is where it definitely starts to get quite real. We have daring individuals such as the Ultra Juggernaut who opts to just completely go naked on the battlefield, which is a statement if I've ever seen one. And then you have people like Avatar of Wrath, Master Bomber, Wizard Lord Phoenix would put a lot of effort into their costumes. They also do this while being fairly original, which is quite respectable. Although we couldn't put them any higher because they don't have much bling to the costume, with the exception of the Sun Gods which are here, but we put them here because we just think they're a little plain for what they are. Now, before we discuss our two definitive winners, let's talk about the runner-ups for this, because there are 3 of them. And I mean, what can be said about Ben that isn't quite obvious? He has 6 shades, he has the weird-looking holographic computer thing, he looks like a hacker from, like, a 90s film, he's got the style and aesthetic, and he has the colors just right. Not to mention, he's probably everybody's IT guy, which is respectable within itself. Next up, we have Adora, which, I mean, she is a literal deity. And not only that, she also has a little crown thing that literally has blood in it, which is pretty badass. She also gains many bonus points for not only being able to sacrifice to God and live through it, but also to become stronger as a result. All in all, the only thing holding Adora back is just the fact that there were a couple that just slightly edged her out. The last runner-up, but not quite the least, Sada. The main thing that Sada has is style. She has this nice looking headband, her dress looks quite nice, she has a third sword with this pretty floral handle. She also styles her hair in a very fanciful way. Not to mention that, generally speaking, she makes the primary colors look pretty fanciful, in spite of being an outfit that is primarily primary colors. But that does it for the runner-ups. And now our top 2. We asked you and you voted for who you think is the drippiest of them all. And before we say who the winner is, let's first go over what we're looking at here. On one side, we have Geraldo. To start off with, Geraldo's cloak is literally hanging with gold. He has a golden banana medallion and as well some golden diamond things just kinda hanging off of his stylish cloak. Not to mention that he is an infection waiting to happen because he has not 2, but 6 ear piercings. And possibly most importantly, he has an emerald on his bandana that is somehow casting a shadow on his eyebrow, which his eyebrow is within itself somehow on top of his bandana. Very bold choices here. Not to mention, this guy probably has a monkey bank to himself, considering how much he probably sells in his little shop of his. And on the other side, there is Bloon, Master Alchemist. Now, BMA is a guy who likes gold. He has a crown of gold that has gems within it. He makes balloons into gold. And even most of his attire seems to be at least golden yellow. And if that wasn't drippy enough for you, he even has a cape like he's a superhero or something, which definitely says something not only about his ego, but also is pretty accurate to this guy's performance on the battlefield. Because while Geraldo runs a shop, BMA literally takes his enemies and squishes them into the form of a red balloon, just because he can, which is kind of an alpha move, not gonna lie. And of course, the moment you've been waiting for, the winner, by a large margin according to the community, is Bloon Master Alchemist. According to the Bloons community, the Bloons Master Alchemist has the most drip in BTD6. So now you can rest easy knowing that this answer has been answered. Wait, that didn't make sense. And personally, I was rooting for Geraldo, but to be honest, I didn't know what I expected, considering that BMA is literally gold. But of course, there is one other way to settle a debate such as this. Epic Rip Battles of History! Geraldo! Versus Blue Alchemist! Bring in!